In today's video, I'll be talking about a theoretical scenario where the Uchiha get to attempt their rebellion instead of just getting slaughtered. The main thing that will have to change is that Itachi and Shisui have to decide to side with the Uchiha. We know that originally they were working for the leaders of the Leaf, and Shisui commits suicide because he felt like it would prevent conflict, but that didn't work. After that, Itachi had to kill everyone except for Sasuke and the clan, and then nothing notable happens until 5 years later when part 1 begins. In this scenario, Shisui and Itachi are going to decide to be loyal to the Uchiha because they feel like the only way for the Uchiha to be happy is to put them in power. They don't even need to prepare for war or anything actually. The peaceful solution would be for Shisui to use Kotoamatsu Kami on the village elders. He can use this powerful genjutsu to make Danzo, Hiruzen, and the village elders to decide to step down and allow Fugaku Uchiha to become Hokage. Shisui wouldn't make them do it immediately though, because that would raise a lot of suspicion around the village. Shisui and Itachi would report back to Fugaku and tell him what happened. They would advise Fugaku that the Uchiha should play along and gradually make it seem like their relationship with the village is improving. Fugaku would tell the Uchiha, and for the following year, the tension with the Uchiha and the village would lessen. Hiruzen and Danzo would instruct the Anbu to stop spying on the Uchiha, and after around a year has passed, the tension between the Uchiha and the village would become yesterday's news. At that point, Hiruzen, Danzo, and the elders would decide to step down. They would tell the village that they were ready to retire, and now that there's a proper replacement for Hiruzen, it would make sense to step down. The daimyo would be fine with the transfer of power, since there would be no other Hokage candidates in the village other than Fugaku. Fugaku would have the right age and the right experience that would allow for the daimyo to pick him. He would also be one of the strongest in the village at this time. There may be some slight suspicion from people in the Anbu about this transfer of power, but it wouldn't be enough that people would investigate and find out the truth. The next few years would be uneventful, but I'll go over some of the things worthy of note. The Uchiha would be relocated towards the center of the village. After the Nine-Tails attack, they were pushed far away from everybody else, and this was a big reason as to why there was so much tension. Fugaku would also give the police force some more power, and this might make the villagers complain a bit. The biggest change, though, is how Sasuke would act. This is an argument over nature and nurture, but I think we all know Sasuke is so abrasive because of the Uchiha Massacre. This doesn't happen in this timeline, though, so I don't see him being nearly as bitter. He is an Indra incarnate though, so there's a little bit of bitterness there, there always is. And he'll also want to compete with Naruto. He won't understand Naruto as well though, since he isn't lonely like him in this scenario. As for his relationship with Sakura, it should actually flourish. Sasuke would not be as brooding, so that might hurt his appeal to the girls in his generation, but he would be the most talented in his class, so I can still see him being every girl's crush. He wouldn't care about it much, but once Sakura is working with him on a daily basis, they may start dating. He wouldn't be hyper-focused on killing Itachi, so he could actually make time for Sakura. Overall, Sasuke would be less of a loner, and he would be driven to become stronger so that he can compare himself to Itachi instead of wanting to kill Itachi. Now we've reached the start of part 1, and the teams of Genin should still stay the same. Fugaku would consider putting Sasuke with an Uchiha teacher, but Itachi and Shisui would be in the Anbu, and Kakashi will just do since he has one Sharingan. The Land of Waves arc will go exactly the same. Next is the Chunin exams, and this arc will change significantly. The main reason why he did was because he wanted to kill Hiruzen. He attacked during the finals because he knew exactly where Hiruzen would be and was able to set up an elaborate plan to trap him on a roof. In this scenario, he won't be able to know where Hiruzen will be and plan out a way to set up their one-on-one. He also won't be able to exploit Sasuke's hate for Itachi in order to lure him away from the village. That gives him no reason to attack, and he would just have to put his revenge on hold because setting up the one-on-one is harder than you think. Orochimaru will also still be in the Akatsuki because the reason why he left is that he attacked Itachi. That doesn't happen in this timeline though, so Kisame and Orochimaru will actually be partners. The Sand will still want to attack the Leaf though, and they will go through with it. Anyway, the written part of the exam doesn't change, but the Forest of Death part does. Orochimaru isn't going to give Sasuke Heki, and there won't be any Sound Ninja there. Basically, the only change is that Team 7 gets their skull faster. The same Genin will advance to the prelim, but now that there are no Sound Ninja, that leaves us with a few people without fights. These matchups were determined randomly though, and I don't want to start manipulating the story too much, so we'll say that Shikamaru and Shino beat a fodder ninja, and Joji has a double knockout with someone. Everyone else will advance like normal, and that brings us to the finals. Now, if you want to know how the finals would have went if it wasn't interrupted, then check out this video I made. I talk about all the matchups and who would have won the tournament. I'll try to remember to put the links in the description. Anyway, Naruto versus Neji will go the same, and so will Sasuke versus Gaara. Once Gaara fails at transforming into the One Tails, the 4th Kazekage will decide that they will have to start the attack now. Hiruzen had 2 guards by him in the original timeline, and so should Fugaku. The difference is that Fugaku would have Shisui and Itachi by him, and that's just overwhelming for Raza. His Gold Dust can block Fire Style pretty well, but Shisui and Fugaku have Mangekyo Sharingans, and this means they both have Susanos. The Gold Dust can't do anything against that, and the Uchihas are eventually going to be victorious in this fight. While that fight is going on, Chino and Kankura would have stalemated, and then Sasuke will confront Gaara. Sasuke does not have a curse mark though, so he only has 1 Chidori left, and the curse mark also can't paralyze him. This means that he will have to stall for a short while until Naruto and Sakura come to help him. Once they arrive, it will be decided as a team that Sakura should just stay out of it while Naruto does most of the heavy lifting, since Sasuke is mostly out of chakra. Naruto and Sasuke will try to fight Gaara until he becomes the One Tails. After that, Naruto will be able to summon Gamabunta, and Sasuke will be a little jealous. After that, Sasuke and Naruto will work together to take down the One Tails, and they will both be pretty exhausted after that. All 3 fighters will be too tired to stand up, and that's when Naruto would reach out to Gaara. He would tell him that he knows what the pain is like being a Jinchuriki, and this is when Gaara has his epiphany. This will be the first time that Sasuke will learn that Naruto is an orphan and that he has the Nine-Tails Fox inside of him. This will make him a little bit more friendlier towards Naruto. After their talk, Temari and Kankura will carry Gaara away without protest from Team 7. After the Chunin exams is the Itachi infiltration arc, and well, this is going to change a lot. Orochimaru and Kisame will infiltrate the village instead of Itachi and Kisame. They'll be after Naruto, and Kakashi and the other Jonin will catch on to their presence. That's why Itachi and Kisame were confronted in the first place. They won't only be after Naruto though. Orochimaru will hope that he can get his one-on-one in with Hiruzen. I'll admit that this timeline is really branching far off now, but I'll do my best to predict what would happen. First off, Kakashi is going to go report to Fugaku. Originally, Kakashi had no Hokage to report to, and Jiraiya was out of the village with Naruto. He told the Jonin, but he really took responsibility over what to do with Itachi. This time he has higher ups though, and he will report to Fugaku. Fugaku would order the Anbu to find them, and I'd imagine that he'd take this threat very seriously. Orochimaru is hailed as one of the legendary 3, and he's got a mysterious partner walking around town with him. I'd imagine that he would be ready to throw everything he's got at him. First off, he would send someone to notify Jiraiya, since he is also one of the legendary 3, and Jiraiya would be able to come back very quickly because he would have just left the village. After that, I can see Fugaku coordinating an ambush comprising of Jiraiya, Hiruzen, Itachi, Shisui, Fugaku himself, and most of the Anbu and Jonin in the village. When Orochimaru and Kisame are confronted, they'll realize that they are surrounded and decide to fight. Orochimaru will want to kill Hiruzen, and Kisame will want to kill people just for the fun of it. This is a lopsided matchup though, because a leaf would crush them here. With this many fighters, it's hard to go into the specifics of battle, but I can easily explain why the leaf wins. First off, Orochimaru stalemated against Hiruzen, and Itachi and beat Orochimaru just by looking at him. On top of that, you have Fugaku and Shisui, and the leaf even has Jiraiya. Orochimaru has little fear of the Sharingan, and he has 6 of them to go up against. Kisame isn't going to underestimate the Uchiha though, so he'll do better. Even then, let's say that Hiruzen and Orochimaru cancel each other out, then you just have Kisame versus the rest of the Leaf Village. The Leaf has 2 Susanos, along with Jiraiya and Gamabunta. They simply have more firepower than what Kisame has. I didn't get into specifics because that would take forever, but if you have something to say about this fight, then please leave a comment and I might actually respond. I'm actually interested to see if the Akatsuki duo could have a good argument for it. Anyway, Kisame and Orochimaru die, and no Leaf Ninja that actually have names die. I'm going to end the video here and work on a part 2 eventually. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos in the future. Comment anything if you have anything to say, and I guess I'll see y'all next time.